I'm happy that you join us with a wonderful start. So what we are doing today is an experiment to get a feeling for the challenge. So this, it's just one, that is enough. This is the sheet for the mini ink challenge. So these are the frames, the challenge frames here. Thank you, Petra, Anya, thank you for your birthday wishes. That's so kind of you. And these are the frames, and as you can see, they are really small. So about, I think 1.5 inches, I'm not sure. I sent it in the email how big they are, 4 to 5 centimeters. But I've sent it in the email how big they are, and you can estimate it. So it's the idea why they are so small is when you are drawing and when you are using 3 minutes to make a sketch, and you draw the sketch and use an entire page, you simply need a lot of time to just trace the first outlines. So it takes a lot of time if you use such a big place for your sketch. That's why the idea is to keep them very small, so big enough to have quite a lot of details and small enough to really manage to sketch them within 3 minutes. So this is the first thing, and what we need now here is the right pen so that you can work with it. And this is our today's topic. So I'm going to switch now, and that's wonderful. I'm just looking at your comments here. Thank you so much, Brigitte and Sue. Wonderful that you're joining that today. That's great. So there's still the possibility. Yes, okay. In here you can still see me, and well, okay, it's about 10 minutes later as usual, so I think we are still well on time. So what I've here are those frames, but for the experiments I am drawing just a few frames here so that we can better look how this works. And just to give you a feeling for the size of it here. And you can, and that's an invitation for you to experiment. So, experiment. I think this is a good occasion when you're doing a challenge, because it allows you to keep drawing in a similar style with the pen, with different motifs, which makes you get to know the motifs better. So we have the 3 minutes here, but we'll talk about this another time. Just to put this away. Today it's all about the pen. And you can use, on the one hand, these kind of pigment liners. So there are different brands. It doesn't really matter which one. It should be really something that feels comfortable for you, or maybe challenging, so that you can test it out. So this one, for example, it's a 04. So I have here a 04. And when I'm drawing with the 04, let's just draw. We can, for example, just making a bit more space, we can, for example, draw a brush. Because a brush is helpful, because we have this fading out area at the end. So when I'm drawing the brush, I can instantly test, is it working with this pen? With lines that are fading out, and then there's this area that can be very bold here, as you can see it. This middle area, and here we have different areas, like this fading out area, that could be done with the 04. And honestly, this is one of my favorites, because I can draw very fine lines here and be also very bold. And the big advantage here, that's the plus, is that I don't have to change the pen. I just keep sketching with this one because it's a medium size. So this is a big advantage. But another one, like for example this one here, I'm not sure which one this is, but it's definitely bolder. I think it's a 06. Let's draw it here. It's a 06. So you just use your pens that you have. I just tell you my opinion and my experiments with it and my experiences. So the 06, for example, is clearly bolder. So when I'm drawing a brush, I need to put it a bit more to the side. So when I'm, for example, drawing this style, I have very bold lines here. And when I want to have those lines finer, it's easier to put the pen a bit to the side. So to really have, for example, a distance and to draw with less pressure on the pen. Then I can be very fine as well. But I must admit, it's kind of a pressure to really manage to draw those fine lines because the pen is quite bold. So the big advantage here definitely is that I'm very quick with bold shapes, which is definitely a good advantage when you're using the hourglass time stopper, because you want to be quick. So maybe you want to combine these two or even use a bolder one, because as we have the advantage to have quick bold shapes, there's even more advantage when the pen is very dark. So I can combine this, for example, and redraw some lines with a very bold pigment pen. So these are the pigment liners that we use as ink pens, and this one is super bold. So I personally would definitely not use only this one, because it is really very bold and it will make me a hard time drawing fine shapes or fading out lines. So a disadvantage here is fading out is kind of impossible, honestly said. So other versions are, if you do not want to draw with the pen, or if you do not want to combine the pens, you can also experiment, for example, by using ink like this one here. So it takes a bit more time, I admit this, but it's really fun to do it. And it's also, as we are talking about experiments, a really good occasion to just get to know this art tool here a bit better. So when I'm drawing, for example, this brush again, and I'm using bolder lines, I'm starting with bolder lines here for the pen. And as soon as there is less ink, I can, for example, use it in order to show the brush, in order to draw the brush, for example. I know some in our group really enjoy using it, and they're really very strong and using it. They all have already a good feeling for it, which might be a good occasion when you start with the mini ink challenge, that you get to know it and play with it. So it's absolutely different, and also it's completely different when you're writing. So a big advantage here is to get to know art material, I would say it this way. So it might be also a good occasion to do this. I hope you can see it clearly, because when I check on my computer, it kind of looks blurry. So hopefully you can see it well. But I'm talking a lot about those brushes and the pens, so maybe this already helps you to get a feeling for the ink pen. My idea for our today's or tonight's experiment here is really to start this idea of trying out different styles. So the reason why we are doing this, for those who are new, it's the mini ink challenge. And the idea of the mini ink challenge is to sketch 3 minutes every day. And 3 minutes are really not a long time, so you might want to use this time to experiment here. So these are the two main tools that I'm using. So I'm testing out with different sizes of the pen and also with this ink here. But feel free to share what you are doing. I know there is colored ink as well, so I will stay with black and white. But for sure, if you want, you can also use colored ink as you want. So I think these are all, well, the ballpoint pen maybe is also a good solution to test it. But yeah, or this is a bolder ink pen. Yes, it's 07, so you might use different boldness, but yeah, I think this is already a good variation of the different styles, and you see already the language is a completely different one. So today's main idea is experimenting, and as it is always good to prepare a bit for the challenge, because I think we get the most out of it when we prepare a little bit, so that we can use this 3 minutes in a way that helps us later on as well. So my idea this time is to work a bit with different art tools. So I'm just checking all your messages now, what you think about it. And Anne, you're here as well. And Margaret will get out my pens, that's wonderful. And yes, I was able to celebrate, Margaret, thank you so much. I celebrated even so much that I nearly missed our live sketch together. So I'm really glad we are doing this, and I'm really glad that we are starting with the mini ink challenge soon, because 3 minutes sketching every day really gives a different rhythm of the day. And if you have not yet joined, I will instantly post the link. It's a free challenge, and I've made 2 different versions, one in German and one in English. And for both versions you will find a drawing tip and a drawing motif. But there is still time, so we will start on October 1st, as every year. I think it's now the 4th or 5th year that we're doing this, so it's really a wonderful ritual already. And oh, Sue, you have printed the squares. That's wonderful. The first time, because you're doing this challenge for a long time already with me. That's great. And I think it helps really to have small frames, to be very quick here. And Susan, you're going to use the Sharpie. Yes, wonderful. I like this because it will help you to get to know the Sharpie and to get a feeling for it. It reminds me of our Sharpie experiments 3 years ago. That's wonderful, and thank you so much for your birthday wishes. So I wish you a great time. I'm happy that you joined me now for this little pen experiment preparation for the mini ink challenge. I'm looking forward to seeing your experiments now in the group and what you think about it. And yeah, see you soon. Bye.